The morning on the quiet planet began with soft light filtering through the outpost's small windows. Aaron woke first, hearing the faint hum of the machines around him. For a moment, he forgot that he wasn't alone anymore. Then he turned his head and saw Ren lying a few steps away, still asleep. Her silver hair caught the sunlight, making it look like threads of glass. Aaron stood quietly, not wanting to wake her. He moved to the kitchen area of the outpost and began preparing some warm food. It wasn't much, just protein blocks and a hot drink, but it was enough to keep them both going. After a while, he heard movement behind him. Ren was awake, sitting up slowly. She looked around with alert eyes, as if she wasn't sure if she was safe yet. "Good morning," Aaron said gently. Ren tilted her head, trying to understand. Her translator device blinked and repeated softly, "Good morning." She looked at the food he was preparing and asked, "What is this?" "Breakfast," Aaron said, offering her a small piece of the protein bar. "It's not very tasty, but it will give you energy." Ren took it carefully, as if it might break in her hand. She studied it for a moment before taking a tiny bite. Her expression didn't change, but she swallowed and nodded slightly. "Strange, but good," she said through the translator. Aaron smiled. "That's the best review I've ever had for this food." After they ate, Aaron checked the condition of the outpost. The storm from the night before had caused some damage to the communication dish. It wasn't sending signals to the main colony. He sighed. "I'll have to fix that, or we'll be stuck here without backup," he said to himself. Ren was watching him with sharp eyes. "You repair?" "Yes," Aaron said. "I fix things. That's part of my job." He held up a small toolkit. "Humans like to build and fix." Ren gave a small sound, almost like a laugh, but not quite. "Humans break and fix," she said slowly. Aaron chuckled. "I guess that's true." While Aaron worked on the dish outside, Ren stayed inside the outpost, but her curiosity got the better of her. She stood near the door, watching him. He climbed the ladder and started adjusting wires with steady hands. The wind was strong, but he kept working. Suddenly, one of his tools slipped, falling to the ground. Ren stepped forward without thinking and picked it up. She looked at the strange human tool for a moment, then offered it to him. "Thank you," Aaron said with a smile. Ren hesitated, then replied softly, "You, careful." Later in the day, Aaron tried to learn more about her. He pointed to himself. "Aaron." She nodded. "Aaron." Then he pointed to her. "Ren," she said. He repeated it, smiling. "Ren." She tilted her head slightly, as if surprised that he could say it correctly. For a moment, there was silence, but not an uncomfortable one. As evening approached, Aaron tried to show her something. He pulled out a broken sensor chip that he had found while fixing the dish. He placed it on the table and used his basic tools to repair the cracked part. Ren leaned closer, watching with wide eyes. "You create?" she asked. "Not create, just repair," Aaron said. "Sometimes things are broken, but they can be made to work again." Ren nodded slowly, her expression thoughtful. "My people do not repair. We replace." Aaron smiled. "Well, humans can't always replace things. We fix them because we have to." That night, a storm returned. It was worse than before. Strong winds shook the outpost, and the lights flickered. Aaron checked the systems, making sure they wouldn't lose power. Ren sat near the wall, looking uneasy. "Are you scared?" Aaron asked softly. Ren didn't answer right away. "Storm dangerous?" "Yes, but this building is strong. We'll be safe," Aaron said. When the wind howled louder, Ren moved closer to him without realizing it. She looked at him and whispered, "Humans dangerous?" Aaron laughed quietly. "You've told me that before. But if I'm dangerous, why are you sitting next to me?" Ren paused. Her silver eyes met his. "You're not dangerous," she said softly. After a moment, the storm grew colder as the night went on. The temperature in the outpost dropped, and Aaron noticed Ren shivering. He pulled out an extra blanket and offered it to her. She took it. But when another strong wind hit the building, she instinctively moved closer to him. Sitting shoulder to shoulder, Aaron didn't say anything. He just sat with her, feeling her warmth beside him. "You trust me now?" he asked quietly. Ren hesitated. I'm not sure. But I sleep here. Aaron smiled faintly. Then sleep. You're safe. As Ren lay down beside him, Aaron looked at the small alien device on her wrist. He wondered what kind of world she came from, and why she thought humans were dangerous. But he didn't ask. He knew trust would come slowly. When she closed her eyes, he whispered to himself, maybe. We're not as dangerous as you think. For the first time, Ren didn't argue. The next morning began quietly, but Aaron felt uneasy. The storm had passed, leaving the sky pale and clear. But something about the silence felt strange. He walked to the control panel, checking the scanners, as he did every morning. At first, everything looked normal. Then a faint signal appeared on the screen, something moving above the planet. Aaron frowned. That's not a colony signal, he whispered to himself. Ren was sitting near the table, sipping the warm drink he had made for her. She noticed his tense expression and stood up. What is wrong? She asked, her translator flashing .ARIN. Pointed at the scanner. There's a ship out there. It's moving fast, not one of ours. Ren walked closer, her glowing eyes scanning the data. Her face turned serious. Not good. She said softly, They follow me. You mean the raiders? Aaron asked. She nodded slowly. Yes, raiders. They take everything. They are hunters of space. They're dangerous. Aaron leaned back in his chair, his jaw tightening. He had heard stories of space raiders before, but he had never seen one. How? Many ships. Ren looked at the screen again. 2, maybe 3. They will find us soon. The rest of the morning was spent preparing. Aaron checked the outpost security systems. There were only a few low-powered defenses, 2 small laser turrets and a shield generator. They were built to keep away small threats, like wild creatures, not skilled raiders. Ren followed him as he worked, watching with curiosity. You ready to fight? She asked. I hope I won't have to, Aaron replied. But I won't. Let them take you. Ren tilted her head. Why, you don't know me. You could leave. Aaron stopped for a moment, looking into her bright eyes. Because it's the right thing to do. You needed help, and I found you. That means I'm responsible for you now. For a moment. Ren said nothing. Her gaze softened, and she seemed to study him differently. Aaron decided to set a decoy in case the raiders landed near the outpost. He had a broken rover drone that he had never bothered to fix. Now, he carefully worked on it, connecting wires and testing the circuits. Ren sat on the floor beside him, silently watching his hands move. She seemed fascinated by how he used simple tools to repair things. You fix again, she said finally. Aaron smiled faintly. Humans fix things. That's how we survive. If something's broken, we try to make it work again. Ren tilted her head. My people, we do not fix. We create new. Maybe that's easier for your people, Aaron said. For us, repairing something is a way to learn. To keep going when things are hard. Ren looked at him for a moment. Longer. Maybe this is why humans are strong. In the afternoon, the scanner beeped again. The signals were stronger now. The raiders were getting closer. They will land soon, Ren said. Her voice calm, but her eyes filled with worry. Aaron nodded, checking his rifle. Then we'll hide in the underground section. It's safer there. Underground, she repeated. Yes, the outpost has a bunker below. If they can't find us, they might leave. Ren frowned. And if they do not leave, Aaron gave her a small grin. Then we'll make them leave. They gathered supplies, food packs, water, tools, and moved them to the underground bunker. It was a small, reinforced room with metal walls and emergency lights. It felt safe, but Aaron knew that if the raiders were determined, hiding would not be enough. As they worked, Ren suddenly asked, Why do you risk yourself? My people said humans only care for themselves. Aaron stopped and looked at her. Some humans are like that, yes, but not all. I help because someone needs me too. That's what makes us human. Ren's glowing eyes softened. Strange human, she said quietly. Aaron laughed lightly. I'll take that as a compliment. By evening, the sky darkened again. This time, the sound of engines echoed faintly through the air. Aaron checked the outside cameras. 2 black ships were flying low above the forest. They're here. Aaron said quietly. Rin's face tightened. We must hide. They both moved into the underground bunker. Sealing the hatch behind them, Aaron kept an eye on the camera feeds. The raider ships landed not far from the outpost. Dark, armored figures stepped out, their weapons glowing faintly in the dusk. They're scanning. Aaron whispered. Our YN stood close to him, her silver hair brushing his arm. They will not stop. They know I am here. Aaron glanced at her. Then we'll have to trick them. The raiders walked around the outpost, checking the doors and windows. One of them tried the main entrance, but it was locked. Aaron watched silently from the screen. His rifle ready. He didn't want to fight, but he was ready if he had to. Minutes felt like hours. Rin stayed close, her breathing quick but steady. Finally, the raiders stepped back to their ship, scanning the area one last time. They didn't leave, but they stopped searching for the moment. Aaron sighed quietly. They're not gone. They're waiting. Rin looked at him. What will you do? Aaron smiled faintly. I'll find a way. Humans always do. That night, as they sat in the bunker, the tension between them eased just a little. Rin looked at Aaron and said softly, You are not like stories. Maybe humans are not all dangerous. Aaron glanced at her and smiled. Maybe you'll see that for yourself. Rin hesitated for a moment, then lay down beside him, close enough to feel his warmth. For the first time, she didn't say anything more. The bunker was silent, except for the faint hum of the outpost emergency lights. Aaron sat on the cold floor, leaning against the wall with his rifle nearby. Rin was seated across from him, her silver eyes glowing faintly in the dim light. Outside, the raiders' ship still hovered somewhere in the dark sky. Neither of them had slept much. Aaron finally broke the silence. We can't stay down here forever, he said, his voice low. But for now, it's safe. Rin tilted her head slightly. Safe with you? She asked through the translator. Yes, Aaron replied without hesitation. I'll make sure of that. She looked at him for a moment, as if trying to read his face. You're strange for human, she said softly. Aaron laughed lightly. I've been called strange before, but I'll take it as a compliment. To pass the time, Aaron decided to ask her questions. Where are you from, Rin? He asked. Rin hesitated, as if unsure how much to tell him. A place far, she said. A world of white seas and blue skies. We live in great cities, floating above water. No wars, no fighting. Aaron's eyebrows rose. No wars? That sounds like a dream. Humans have a history of wars. Yes, Rin said. We heard stories. Humans fight for land, power, many things. My people. We do not understand this. We believe in balance and peace. Aaron looked down for a moment, thinking about her words. I guess humans are complicated. We can be kind, but we can also destroy. Sometimes we fight because we are afraid. Rin tilted her head, her silver hair falling over her shoulder. Afraid of what? Of losing what we love, Aaron said simply. There was a long pause. Rin studied him with curiosity. You love something? Aaron gave a small smile. I loved the stars since I was a boy. That's why I became an explorer. I wanted to see what was out there, to find something new. Did you find it? Rin asked. Aaron looked at her, his smile softening. Maybe I just did. For a moment, neither of them spoke. There was something in Rin's eyes, something softer than before. She looked away, as if she didn't know how to respond to make her feel more comfortable. Aaron decided to show her something. He pulled a small device from his pack, a tablet with a few saved images. He turned it on and handed it to her. These are pictures of Earth, he said. Rin's eyes widened as she scrolled through the images. Mountains, forests, oceans, and cities glowing with lights. Beautiful, she whispered, but different from my world. So many colors. Aaron smiled. Earth is messy, but it's home. Rin looked at him. Do you miss it? Every day, Aaron admitted. But out here, I feel like I'm part of something bigger. Like maybe humans can find friends among the stars. Rin's expression softened again. Maybe. We can be friends, she said, almost shyly. Aaron nodded. I'd like that. Hours passed. Outside, the raiders' ships moved around the area, scanning the ground. Aaron kept checking the cameras. They're still out there, he said. They're patient, Ren frowned. They will not stop. They want my ship, my people. We carry things of value. Knowledge, technology. Aaron tapped his chin, thinking, then we need to outsmart them. Maybe we can lure them away. Ren looked at him, her brow furrowing slightly. You plan to fight? Not if I can help it, Aaron said. But I will protect us. She stared at him for a moment. Humans are brave, she said softly. Sometimes, Aaron replied with a grin. But we're also stubborn. As night fell again, the tension outside grew. The sound of engines could be faintly heard in the distance. Aaron knew they couldn't sleep much. But he wanted Ren to rest. You should get some sleep, he told her. I'll keep watch. Ren hesitated. You will not sleep? I'm used to long nights, Aaron said. Don't worry about me. She looked at him for a long time, then shook her head. I stay here. Beside you? I feel safer, Aaron smiled faintly. Then we'll stay together. To distract her from the fear, Aaron told her stories of Earth. He spoke of the first humans who explored the oceans, the first who went to the stars. He told her about simple things: rain on rooftops, the sound of waves, the warmth of a campfire. Ren listened quietly, her eyes fixed on him. Your world. It is hard, but alive, she said. Double quotes, yes. Aaron replied, humans have to fight for what they have. Maybe that's why we're called dangerous. But sometimes being dangerous means being strong enough to protect. Ren considered his words. Maybe I was wrong, she said softly. Later, as the temperature dropped, Ren moved closer to him. The faint glow of her skin gave off a soft warmth. Why do you stay alone here? She asked suddenly. Aaron sighed. It's part of my work. I explore and send reports back to the colony. Sometimes it's lonely. But now, he paused, looking at her. Now it doesn't feel so empty. Ren's gaze softened. You are not like I thought. My people said humans are only takers. But you give. Aaron smiled gently. Maybe we can learn from each other. When Ren grew tired, she lay down beside him, closer than before. Her head rested lightly against his shoulder. You are warm, she said softly. Aaron chuckled quietly. I guess that's one good thing about humans. For the first time, Ren smiled faintly, a small, shy smile that made her look less like a cautious alien and more like a friend. As Aaron sat awake, watching the monitors, he thought about her words. Maybe humans were dangerous, but maybe that wasn't always a bad thing. Sometimes danger was what kept people alive. Outside, the raider ships waited, but inside the bunker, there was a fragile feeling of trust, something growing between them, small but strong. The bunker was silent, except for the faint hum of the outpost emergency lights. Aaron sat on the cold floor, leaning against the wall with his rifle nearby. Ren was seated across from him, her silver eyes glowing faintly in the dim light. Outside, the raiders' ship still hovered somewhere in the dark sky. Neither of them had slept much. Aaron finally broke the silence. We can't stay down here forever, he said, his voice low. But for now, it's safe. Ren tilted her head slightly. Safe with you? She asked through the translator. Yes, Aaron replied without hesitation. I'll make sure of that. She looked at him for a moment, as if trying to read his face. You're strange for human, she said softly. Aaron laughed lightly. I've been called strange before, but I'll take it as a compliment. To pass the time, Aaron decided to ask her questions. Where are you from, Ren? He asked. Ren hesitated, as if unsure how much to tell him. A place far, she said. A world of white seas and blue skies. We live in great cities, floating above water. No wars, no fighting. Arn's eyebrows rose. No wars? That sounds like a dream. Humans have a history of wars. Yes, Ren said. We heard stories. Humans fight for land, power, many things. My people. We do not understand this. We believe in balance, in peace. Aaron looked down for a moment, thinking about her words. I guess humans are complicated. We can be kind, but we can also destroy. Sometimes we fight because we are afraid. Ren tilted her head, her silver hair falling over her shoulder. Afraid of what? Of losing what we love. Aaron said simply. There was a long pause. Ren studied him with curiosity. You love something? Aaron gave a small smile. I loved the stars since I was a boy. That's why I became an explorer. I wanted to see what was out there, to find something new. Did you find it? Ren asked. Aaron looked at her, his smile softening. Maybe I just did, for a moment. Neither of them spoke. There was something in Ren's eyes, something softer than before. She looked away, as if she didn't know how to respond to make her feel more comfortable. Aaron decided to show her something. He pulled a small device from his pack, a tablet with a few saved images. He turned it on and handed it to her. These are pictures of Earth, he said. Ren's eyes widened as she scrolled through the images: mountains, forests, oceans, and cities glowing with lights. Beautiful, she whispered, but different from my world. So many colors. Aaron smiled. Earth is messy, but it's home. Ren looked at him. Do you miss it? Every day, Aaron admitted. But out here, I feel like I'm part of something bigger. Like maybe humans can find friends among the stars. Ren's expression softened again. Maybe. We can be friends, she said, almost shyly. Aaron nodded. I'd like that. Hours passed, outside. The raiders' ships moved around the area, scanning the ground. Aaron kept checking the cameras. They're still out there, he said. They're patient. Ren frowned. They will not stop. They want my ship, my people. We carry things of value. Knowledge, technology. Aaron tapped his chin, thinking, then we need to outsmart them. Maybe we can lure them away. Ren looked at him, her brow furrowing slightly. You plan to fight. Not if I can help it, Aaron said. But I will protect us. She stared at him for a moment. Humans are brave, she said softly. Sometimes, Aaron replied with a grin. But we're also stubborn. As night fell again, the tension outside grew. The sound of engines could be faintly heard in the distance. Aaron knew they couldn't sleep much. But he wanted Ren to rest. You should get some sleep, he told her. I'll keep watch. Ren hesitated. You will not sleep. I'm used to long nights, Aaron said. Don't worry about me. She looked at him for a long time, then shook her head. I stay here. Beside you, I feel safer. Aaron smiled faintly. Then we'll stay together. To distract her from the fear, Aaron told her stories of Earth. He spoke of the first humans who explored the oceans, the first who went to the stars. He told her about simple things: rain on rooftops, the sound of waves, the warmth of a campfire. Ren listened quietly, her eyes fixed on him. Your world. It is hard, but alive, she said. Double quotes. Yes. Aaron replied. Humans have to fight for what they have. Maybe that's why we're called dangerous. But sometimes being dangerous means being strong enough to protect. Ren considered his words. Maybe I was wrong, she said softly. Later, as the temperature dropped, Ren moved closer to him. The faint glow of her skin gave off a soft warmth. Why do you stay alone here? She asked suddenly. Aaron sighed. It's part of my work. I explore and send reports back to the colony. Sometimes it's lonely. But now, he paused, looking at her. Now it doesn't feel so empty. Ren's gaze softened. You are not like I thought. My people said humans are only takers. But you give. Aaron smiled gently. Maybe we can learn from each other. When Ren grew tired, she lay down beside him, closer than before. Her head rested lightly against his shoulder. You are warm, she said softly. Aaron chuckled quietly. I guess that's one good thing about humans. For the first time, Ren smiled faintly, a small, shy smile that made her look less like a cautious alien and more like a friend. As Aaron sat awake, watching the monitors, he thought about her words. Maybe humans were dangerous, but maybe that wasn't always a bad thing. Sometimes danger was what kept people alive, outside. The raider ships waited, but inside the bunker, there was a fragile feeling of trust, something growing between them, small but strong. The next morning was not quiet. Aaron woke to the sharp sound of the scanner alarm. The blinking red light on the panel told him everything he needed to know. The raider ships were closing in fast. He quickly stood, grabbing his rifle. Ren, who had been sleeping beside him, opened her eyes and immediately sensed the danger. "They are here," she said, her voice calm but filled with worry. "Yes," Aaron replied, looking at the screens. "They're landing near the forest. We don't have much time." Ren rose to her feet, her silver hair glowing softly in the bunker's light. "They will not leave without me. They know my ship's energy signature. Then we'll make them think it's not worth staying," Aaron said firmly. He moved quickly, checking his equipment. "If they get inside, we're in trouble. We'll have to fight, or they'll take us both." Ren looked at him seriously. "You will fight for me?" "Yes," Aaron said, without hesitation. "We'll fight together." They climbed out of the bunker and returned to the main room of the outpost. Aaron powered up the defensive shields and armed the two small turrets outside. They were not strong enough to destroy Raider ships, but they could slow them down through the window. He saw the black Raider ships parked on the edge of the forest. Their designs were sharp and threatening, with bright red lights pulsing on their surface. Several figures in dark armor were approaching, carrying heavy weapons. Aaron's jaw tightened. "Here they come," removed to the window, her silver eyes watching the raiders. "They are not many," she said, "but they are skilled." Aaron nodded. "We don't need to beat them. We just need to outsmart them." He ran to the storage area and pulled out a small energy battery. "This will overload the shield for a short time, but it'll create a flash strong enough to blind them." Ren looked at the strange human device. "You plan this often?" Aaron smiled faintly. "Not often, but I've had to get creative out here." The raiders reached the outer gates of the outpost. One of them raised a hand, signaling the others. A loud metallic voice boomed through a speaker. "Human outpost, surrender the alien, or we will destroy this place," Aaron muttered under his breath. "Not happening." Ren looked at him. "They know I am here. Then let's give them something else to think about," Aaron said. He quickly set up a decoy, his repaired rover drone. He programmed it to emit a strong heat signature and send it rolling out from the back of the outpost. The raiders, seeing movement, immediately fired at it. A bright explosion followed, distracting them for a moment. "Now," Aaron shouted. He pressed the overload button on the energy battery. A sudden flash of blinding white light erupted from the outpost, forcing the raiders to step back, shielding their eyes. Aaron used the moment of confusion to fire the small laser turret. The turret sent sharp, precise beams of light, forcing the raiders to scatter. One of them shouted something in their harsh language. "They will regroup," Ren warned. "Then we'll make them chase us," Aaron said. "Come on." They slipped out the side exit of the outpost, moving through the silver forest. The glowing leaves above them swayed gently, hiding their movement. Aaron led the way, holding his rifle ready. "Where are we going?" Ren whispered. "There's a cave 2 kilometers north," Aaron said. "We can set traps there and ambush them if they follow." Ren tilted her head. "You plan like a soldier." Aaron gave a small smile. "I'm not a soldier, but sometimes I have to think like one." They moved quickly, but the sound of engines soon followed. One of the raider ships lifted off, scanning the forest from above. "They see us," Ren said. Aaron looked at her. "Can you run fast?" Ren nodded. "Faster than human." "Good," Aaron said. "We'll split up. You lead them toward the caves. I'll take the back path and set up the trap." Ren hesitated. "What if they catch you?" "Then I'll make sure they regret it," Aaron replied with a confident grin. The plan worked. As Ren ran ahead, her glowing figure darting between the silver trees, the raider ship followed her. Aaron circled around, climbing over rocky ground until he reached the cave entrance. He placed a small energy cell in the ground, one of the emergency power units he had modified into a makeshift explosive. Minutes later, Ren arrived, slightly out of breath. "They come," she said quickly. "Good," Aaron said. "Get behind me." The raiders entered the cave, their footsteps echoing. They carried heavy weapons, their red armor lights shining in the dark. "Now," Aaron whispered. He pressed the trigger on his wrist controller. A burst of bright light and heat filled the cave entrance as the energy cell exploded, knocking the raiders back. The rest were blinded for a moment, and Aaron fired his rifle with precise shots, hitting their armor. Joinsprint, seeing an opening, moved with surprising speed. She grabbed one of the raiders' weapons and disabled it with a swift strike. Her movements were fluid and fast, unlike any human fighter Aaron had seen. Together, they forced the raiders to retreat. The remaining ship lifted off, leaving the forest. When silence returned, Aaron lowered his weapon, breathing heavily. "We did it," he said. Rin looked at him, her expression soft but amazed. "You fought for me," Aaron smiled faintly. "I told you I would." She stepped closer, her silver eyes glowing brighter. "Maybe humans are dangerous, but also brave." Aaron laughed lightly. "I'll take that as a compliment." They returned to the outpost, tired but alive. As the night fell, Rin sat beside him near the window. The sky was quiet again. "Thank you," she said softly. Aaron looked at her. "You don't need to thank me. We're in this together now." The next morning, the outpost was quiet once again. The black ships of the raiders were gone, leaving only scorched earth near the forest where they had landed. Aaron stood outside, his rifle slung over his shoulder, scanning the horizon clear. He muttered to himself, but his eyes still searched the skies. He knew raiders rarely gave up so easily. Rin walked out of the outpost and stood beside him. Her glowing silver eyes reflected the morning light. "They will return," she said. Calmly, "Maybe," Aaron replied, "but we'll be ready. For now, we need to focus on your ship. If we can fix it, you can leave before they come back." Rin shook her head slightly. "I do not want to leave you behind. Raiders will come for you too." Aaron gave her a small smile. "We'll worry about that later. First, let's see if your ship can even fly." The crash site was about a kilometer from the outpost, deep in the silver forest. Together, they walked through the glowing trees, the leaves shimmering softly like moonlight even in the day. Aaron carried a toolkit, while Rin led the way, her movements silent and graceful. When they reached the ship, Aaron stopped to examine it. The alien craft was sleek and silver, shaped like a curved blade. Parts of its hull were burned and cracked from the crash. "Can you fix it?" Rin asked quietly, her voice carrying both hope and doubt. Aaron crouched near a damaged panel, running his fingers over the surface. "I don't know. This tech is way beyond human design, but I can try. I've fixed a lot of strange things before." Rin tilted her head. "Humans always try, even when it is impossible." Aaron smiled faintly. "That's how we survive." They worked together through the day. Aaron pried open a broken hatch, studying the circuits inside. The patterns were unlike anything he had seen, but some parts reminded him of human systems: energy cores, control wires, and cooling panels. Rin knelt beside him, her delicate fingers touching the circuits. "This part broken," she said, pointing to a glowing crystal that was cracked. "Without this, ship will not fly." Aaron nodded. "We'll need a replacement. Maybe I can build something that works. You can build alien tech?" she asked, surprised. "I can try to make a temporary fix," Aaron said with a grin. Humans are good at making things work when they shouldn't. As the sun began to set, they had repaired part of the hull and rerouted some power. The ship's lights flickered faintly for the first time since the crash. Rin's eyes lit up with excitement. "It lives," she whispered. Aaron smiled. "Not ready to fly yet, but it's a start." They returned to the outpost, tired and covered in dust. Aaron sat down on the floor, rubbing his sore hands. Rin brought him water and sat close beside him. "You are different," she said suddenly. Aaron looked at her, raising an eyebrow. "Different how?" "My people, they fix things with machines, not with their hands. You fix with patience. You care for broken things, even for me." Aaron chuckled softly. "You're not broken, Rin." She lowered her gaze. "Maybe I am. My ship, my mission, everything, gone." Aaron reached out and gently touched her shoulder. "You're still here. That means you're stronger than you think." For a moment, Rin looked at him with wide, glowing eyes, as if his words touched something deep inside her. That night, they sat outside under the starry sky. The air was cool, and the forest glowed faintly around them. Aaron pointed at a cluster of stars. "That one is Earth's star, the sun. My home is somewhere out there, far away." Rin followed his gaze. "You miss it sometimes," Aaron said. "But right now, I don't feel far from home." Rin looked at him. her silver hair shining like light in the night. Why? Because I'm not alone anymore, Aaron replied, and turned her face away slightly. But a small smile touched her lips. The next day, they returned to the ship. Aaron spent hours building a replacement crystal using energy from his own equipment. It wasn't perfect, but it might work. Ready? He asked as he placed the makeshift crystal into the ship's core. Ren nodded, watching closely. Aaron pressed a control on the panel, and the ship hummed softly. Lights glowed along the sides, and the energy readings spiked. It's working, Aaron said with a grin. Ren's eyes widened. You did it? Not alone, Aaron said, glancing at her. We did it, but their success was short-lived. The scanner on Aaron's wrist beeped suddenly. He looked down and frowned. Radar signals, he said. They're coming back, Ren's expression turned serious. They know I am here. They will not stop until they take me. Aaron looked at the half-repaired ship. Then we'll have to finish this faster than planned. Back at the outpost. They worked through the night. Aaron connected power cables while Ren adjusted alien panels. Their hands moving quickly but carefully. You're learning fast, Aaron said, impressed by how she handled his tools. Ren gave a faint smile. Maybe humans are not the only ones who can fix things. As the sky began to lighten with the first hint of dawn, the ship stood ready. The engines glowed softly, and the cockpit lights were stable. We did it, Aaron said, his voice tired but happy. Ren looked at him for a long moment. Aaron, if I leave, what will happen to you? Aaron shrugged. I'll be fine. I always am. Ren's voice softened. I do not want to leave you. For a moment, there was only silence. Between them, the bond they had built felt stronger than anything Aaron had known in a long time. The sun rose slowly over the silver forest, but its warm light could not hide the danger that approached. Aaron's scanner beeped again, showing to raider ships flying toward the outpost. He stood outside with Ren, both of them looking at the sky. They are coming, Ren said in a low voice. Yes, Aaron replied, gripping his rifle. This time, they'll try to finish it. Ren turned to him. My ship is ready now. We can leave. Aaron shook his head. If we leave now, they'll just follow us. We need to make sure they can't hurt us anymore. She stared at him with worry. You plan to fight them again? I plan to give them a reason to stay far away, Aaron said with a calm but firm tone. They quickly prepared. Aaron placed small energy cells around the outpost, setting them as traps. If they get too close, these will explode and scare them off, he explained, and helped him carry equipment. You risk your life for someone you just met, she said softly. Aaron smiled faintly. Maybe I've known you longer than it feels. Some people you meet, and you just know they're worth protecting. Ren blinked at his words, her glowing eyes softer than usual. You confuse me. My people said humans are dangerous, but you protect. Aaron looked at her and smiled. Maybe we're dangerous because we fight for what matters. Soon, the sound of engines filled the air. The two black raider ships appeared above the trees, their red lights glowing like fire. Aaron and Ren took cover behind a rocky hill near the outpost, waiting. Through his binoculars, Aaron saw the raiders land. More figures came out this time, at least 6, all armored and armed. They mean business, Aaron muttered. Ren touched his arm. We can run to my ship now. Leave this place. Aaron shook his head. If we run, they'll shoot us down. We'll hold them here and then leave. The raiders began to move toward the outpost. Aaron pressed a button on his wrist control. One of his traps exploded, a bright flash of light startling the raiders and forcing them to take cover. That got their attention, Aaron said with a grin. Ren looked at him with a mix of fear and admiration. You enjoy this? Not at all, Aaron said. But sometimes you have to act like you do. The battle began. Aaron fired his rifle from behind the rocks, aiming carefully to push the raiders back. His small turrets activated, shooting sharp beams that kept the enemy from getting too close. Ren moved beside him, using a raider weapon she had taken earlier. Her aim was precise, and her speed was faster than any humans. They are retreating. For now, she said after a few minutes of firing. Aaron checked his scanner. No, they're just regrouping. We have maybe 5 minutes before they come again. During those few minutes, Ren turned to him. We cannot fight forever. What is your plan? Aaron thought quickly. We'll lure them to your ship. When they get close, we take off and leave them behind. They will chase, Ren said. Not if we give them a surprise, Aaron replied. Your ship has strong engines, right? Yes, Ren said slowly, understanding his idea. Then we'll make them regret coming here. Aaron said with determination. The raiders advanced again, firing at the outpost. The ground shook with the impact of their weapons. Aaron and Ren ran toward the crash site, staying low and moving fast. By the time the raiders reached the outpost, Aaron and Ren were already climbing into a repaired ship. Can it fly? Aaron asked quickly. Ren nodded and pressed her hand against the glowing controls. The ship hummed to life, its silver hull shining as energy surged through it. Hold on, she said. The alien ship lifted off the ground, smooth and fast. The raiders noticed and fired, but Ren's ship moved like a flash of light, dodging every shot. Aaron looked out the window, impressed. This thing is amazing. It is not at full power, Ren said, her hands moving over the controls. But it is enough. One raider ship followed them, engines burning red. They're coming, Aaron warned. Ren glanced at him. Then let us show them what humans and my people can do together, Aaron grinned. I like the sound of that. With quick thinking, Aaron suggested, take us near the forest cliff. I set some energy traps there earlier. We'll lead them straight into it. Ren nodded and steered the ship low toward the cliffs. The raider ship followed, firing non-stop. Now, Aaron shouted. Ren pulled the ship sharply upward, and Aaron pressed the remote trigger. The energy cells on the cliff exploded in a brilliant burst of light and force, shaking the ground and throwing the raider ship off balance. It spun out of control and crashed into the trees below, flames rising into the silver forest. Aaron let out a breath of relief. That should keep them busy. Ren smiled faintly, looking at him. You are dangerous, she said softly, but this time her voice held warmth. Aaron laughed lightly. I'll take that as a compliment. They flew higher into the sky, leaving the outpost far behind. For a moment, silence filled the cabin. Aaron looked around at the smooth, glowing walls of her ship. So, what now? He asked. Ren glanced at him. You saved me. I will not forget. My people will welcome you, if you wish. Aaron thought for a moment, then smiled. Maybe I've seen enough lonely outposts. A change of stars might be good. As they passed through the clouds, Ren sat beside him in the cockpit. When I first saw you, she said, I thought humans were only trouble. But now, I think I was wrong. Aaron looked at her. Maybe humans are trouble, but the kind you can trust. Ren's lips curved into a small, true smile. Yes, she said softly, the kind I can trust. They watched the stars together as the ship left the planet's atmosphere. For the first time since they met, there was no fear, only the quiet understanding that they were no longer alone.